Well, today we're going to work on our value scales, and what I did so far was I drew two rectangles and then I separated the top one, so I'll put 1, 2, by 9 sections by adding 8 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, making 9 complete sections. The bottom rectangle is going to be to create a gradient. All right, and what that will look like is a range of light to dark. So I'm using a 2B pencil. Normally I use a darker one, but you guys probably just have 2B pencils. And I'm going to get started, and I'm going to show you how to do this. So I am pressing down really, really hard in this section. I'm going to see just how solid I can make it. I made my rectangle really, really large. And I think that takes forever to do. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw a line right down the middle of it because I want this to look good. It doesn't need to be big. So I'm just cutting that in half, just by a little bit. I'm gonna cut this one down too. I'm here to make good work with you guys. I don't want it to be terribly painful. So I'm just doing circular blending. Circular blending is where I'm just going around with my pencils in like large ovals like this, like a little tornado. So I'm making this one as dark as possible. This is my darkest value, dark. This one is going to be my second darkest value. So what I usually do is I make it lighter, and then I start to press down hard. So now you can see my different values. And going in a different direction will also make that darker. This is my second darkest section, and I don't want them to look the same. There has to be a little bit of a difference. And if I can't see that difference, then I'm going to push back the darkness on the one that I did before. It's going to be harder to see since this is a video. Okay, so now I am doing my third darkest. So really this is an exercise for you to see what you can do, like how well you are how good you are at controlling your pencil, the pressure of your pencil. So now I've got another dark area, but it's not as dark as the one before. And if it was, all I'd have to do is go back over it. So this can be done on a lined sheet of paper. It can be done on a blank sheet of paper, anything that you have at home. Our next lesson is going to be working with value scales and creating depth and space by using the element of value. So each one has to look a little bit lighter than the one before. So I'm starting to lighten up. So again, I'm using my circular blending so I don't see scribbles like this. A lot of people try to get away with that. But my pencil's really light. It's going on there. I don't see any specific lines. It's just blended together. A lot of people try to smear things with their finger, and you totally can later. But right now we're working with not smearing. We're just trying to see how light we can get. We're trying to look for 6 different levels of value. So I'm going back over it a second time. And as long as these two look different from each other, that one looks different, those are 3 different values, then we're in good shape. So this one I'm probably just going to go over. Once my square has the same amount of value in the whole thing, it doesn't have some parts that are heavy and then some parts that are light. And those two look really similar when I put them side by side. So I might need to make this one darker. But then I'll have to make the one before it a little bit darker. It comes with pushing and pulling. Just a little bit darker. There we go. Every square you got to pay attention to. It's value, it's a range. Now I'm going to get even lighter. So I might need to press down super, super light. On my last one, I'm not just going to leave it blank, but I am going to make it as light as I can. So I might need to use an eraser to see just how light I can do it. I might need to use an eraser to lighten it up, rather, because I can see some lines there on the side. One does look a little bit lighter, so we've got to do our range. What I mean by taking an eraser, if I have my pink eraser, where did it go? Where did I put it? Oh, I got it. You can always lighten it up like this, just by using an eraser. Okay, now here for our second one, we are going to go from dark to light, but we're going to not have these lines, these sections. So I'm going to sharpen my pencil. Thank you to whichever student left this awesome pencil sharpener in my classroom. I really appreciate it. It's really cool. Okay. So I like to start down really in the dark area. I like to start with going very heavy. Now I'm matching the value that is in the top right here. So I know that this one has to be super dark. So I'm looking at the rectangle above me. Again, I'm doing circular blending like this, and it's consistent. So I'm starting to go up and not up. Well, if I do it this way, it will be up. Feel free to rotate your picture. And then I'm going back over that little area where it shifted, and I'm just blending that together just by going like blending these little circles over that edge of where I was pressing down really heavy at before. And I'm starting to lighten up my pressure as I reach forward into the next section of lightness. I'm going back down with my pencil into this level 2 area of darkness, my second darkest area. And I'm matching the value scale that's above me. I'm trying to match that exact value, that level of darkness. I got to be a little bit lighter here because I can see these marks of where my pencil changed. So I'm zooming in a little bit closer with the way that I'm looking, and I'm just going over this again softly, trying to disguise those areas. So some people go forward a lot in order to get rid of those, and you can do that. But I do have to color back over another area, so it's a lot of layers. So this is like an ombre effect. I always thought it looked like a little waterfall of value. I need to get lighter. I think the areas that I did up there are too similar now. Now that I'm looking at this value scale, I need to practice that a little bit better. Make them get a little bit nicer. This should look like a dark, dark area. Going to a medium dark. Going to a medium. Going to a medium light. I haven't practiced this in a while. This was really good practice. So even if you know how to do shading already, you gotta practice this stuff before we can do our next project. It's good. It's been a while since we've all drawn together. Ooh, you couldn't see what I was doing. Oh my glob. So I need to go back down, make sure that this is as smooth as possible. And I'll probably fix the sections above, since I want this to be perfect. Those look different. Those look different. It's 5 and 6 that don't look too different to me. So I probably need to lighten up 5, 6, 7, 8. So you might have to go back and erase things. We're looking for perfection here with our pencils. This takes time. You're not going to do it perfectly the first time. I needed to start getting lighter right here. In the future, I'll teach you how to do cross-hatching. It's a lot easier to control, where we do lines instead of these nice little scribbles. But this is what some people are used to doing, just filling things in by rocking the pencil softly back and forth, trying to be as soft as you can, like Bob Ross would say, just a whisper on the paper. Now those look different. Now it goes from dark to light. And one of the warm-ups that I'm going to have my students do is going to be, honestly, just a scribble. It's going to look like this. This is what we'll do beforehand. I used to do these when I was angry at math or something. I would practice with my pressure, and then I'd start to get harder with my pencil, and then I'd go darker, seeing how dark I can go, and then fill it in. Because that's basically what we'll be doing for our next project on a smaller, more intricate scale. So I should have done this one first, just to get warmed up. I just would go back over it until it was perfect, and it always made me think of a tornado. So there is our value scale. We are just using circular blending. I'll even draw a little tornado for you.